So this one is going to be a second project. It is the rocky shoreline that we are going to paint. We will be using the same set of colors that we did use in our last painting, and just make some rocks towards the right hand side. I'm going absolutely in a very easy way to make these rocks smaller and bigger. Just make a combination of these rocks. Do not try to only add the bigger rocks and not have the smaller rocks, because with the flow of water you will have breakage and worn outs, because of which there will be few smaller and few bigger rocks. Once this is done, then you have to start with your permanent yellow deep. You can also go ahead with orange if you are not having this color. Orange, I would say mix a bit of your brown in it and then add some amount of your burnt sienna. If you see, I am just mixing and matching some of my colors and then adding on to my paper. Now it's going to be a very simple and easy exercise where I'm using my size 8 Escoda brush and then adding the colors with the help of my brush. It is a wet on dry technique. My paints are wet and I'm going ahead and adding on top of a dry paper. That's how we go about it. I would be changing the values of the color. In some of the places you would observe that I have more of yellow, and few of the places I would have more of my brown. As we keep painting these areas, we will start adding some more amount of our burnt sienna towards the top area. Once you have added more of your burnt sienna towards the top area, go ahead and start adding more of burnt sienna towards the top right hand corner, and then change the values of it. That is, you will go ahead, wash your brush, take some fresh water, and then add a bit of yellow along with it towards the shoreline. It is going to be a simple, easy, and interesting process. Let me tell you, this is one of the most easy paintings that you can think of doing. It is a aerial view that we are having for our rocks, and we are observing our sea from the top. It is usually a kind of situation where you have gone on a vacation and you are taking some kind of a ride or something like that in the sea, and you get to observe this kind of a shoreline. Oh my god, it just makes your day, right? That's what even happened with me when I was traveling, and we were in Maldives during that time, and it was one of the best experiences that I had. And it was a paragliding that we did. Oh my God, one of the best, I would say. Now we would start adding some of our Van Dyke brown in few of the areas so that they become darker in value. Once you have added your Van Dyke brown, go ahead and add a bit of it here and there, a few drops. I would say do not try to add a lot of it while you are adding this Van Dyke brown. We want to show the light and shadow. The light and shadow will only happen when you are not adding a lot of this color onto the paper. That's really important as you add it, and use a blending brush to blend the colors. Once you have added the colors, and once you start blending your colors, make sure that they look even and more organic in nature compared to what it can look or it might look if we do not blend it well. That's my only request to you guys. And then let your paper dry off. If you see how beautifully my paper did dry off, and then I would just add a few splatters here and there. You might even just take out the step if you are not very confident, just the way I am doing in few of the places. Wherever I am getting more splatters, I would go ahead and use my tissue, take it off. But yeah, in case you're not very confident of this step, you can also avoid this step, and we will start making some lines for painting our rocks. They would look more rocky in nature. That's how we go about it. I think I am pretty okay with the way it is now showing up. Once that is done, then add some more of your Van Dyke brown, mix some more of your Van Dyke brown, and start adding these rocks. This really helps to show the light and shadow in a great way. In few of the areas, you will have more of sunlight falling, hence your shade of the rock will be lighter, whereas in few other areas the light will not be as strong, hence there would be more of shadows and it would be darker. That's how we go about it. I guess keep altering these values and just see how I slowly build it up. That's the most important aspect in this painting. Rest, I guess it's not so difficult. Few of the areas you blend and few of the areas you do not blend. Keep it as a hard edge. There is no rule as such that you have to blend each and every place. In few of the areas you would see I'm even using my fingers to blend. So it's a mix and match how I go about it to add these rocks, to add these lines. Simple, easy, interesting, yet very, very beautiful once this whole painting comes to life and we are done with the sea area. If you observe my brush strokes very closely, I'm not blending in each and every area. I would be just touching my brush in few of the areas, and few of the other areas I'm not touching my brush. I really want to alter the values and keep some of the areas as hard edge as I've told you and few of the areas soft. That's how I love to work through this painting. I will now leave it at this point and then again get back to you when we have to start painting our water. You can just follow how I keep working along these rocks and then have a great outcome. Once you are done with the rocky shoreline, let your paper dry and then start adding your compost blue. This is the blue from Magello Mission Gold. You will get this kind of a blue in many of the other colors and I would say color brands. You do not need to go ahead with the same color that I own. You can also mix and match this color by using any turquoise, adding a bit of white in it, and you will get a color that is something closer to this one. So every time you do not need to own up a color, but if you can, this is one of the very beautiful colors that comes really handy in case you want to paint any kind of a seascape. So I would say that you can keep this handy with you and even paint with this color whenever you feel that you want to paint any beautiful seascapes like this. So that would be my suggestion. Rest, you can always try mix and match any of your colors or use the shades that is closer to the shade that I'm currently using. Then I am using my Talo turquoise. Talo turquoise is or again a very beautiful color. This is by Daniel Smith. You can use even this color from Sennelier. I had that particular color from Sennelier earlier, but now I did not find that shade in Sennelier, hence I had to go with Daniel Smith. So go ahead and start adding the darker values towards the left and then mix it with some amount of your compost blue. If you see, I keep altering my values even for my ocean area. It's perfectly fine. You can also do it the same way. And some of the areas you can leave it in white. We can use our blending brush to make it better. There is no best way, I would say. You can paint your seascape. Uh, to be frank, I have tried many ways to paint. This is wet on dry. I wanted the colors to be more vibrant, as I say, hence I tried out wet on dry. But I have even done wet on wet, and there are two other classes on Seascape, that is Watercolor Waves 1 and Watercolor Waves 2.0. So, both of these classes are focused on painting waters and how you can build on these kind of your painting. I would say how easily you can actually paint water. You should take those classes if you are always finding it difficult to paint water. That can really help you to build upon. Once it is done, then start adding some of your darker values again and blend it with your brush. If you see, I am keeping my blending brush really handy, and I have one jar of water which has clean water, and that jar I really keep it clean so that I can use it as and when required. I think I'm pretty happy and satisfied of how this has turned out. I would say at this point in time, I do not want to actually touch it a lot more. If this is how you see that my paper is keeping wet for a longer period of time, that's only because I'm using Arches 300 GSM paper. If you also want to use something like a 300 GSM, then you would get similar effects. And I am staying in a very dry place, hence I love to use 300 GSM. That's the minimum that I use. Now I have taken some white gouache, or you can also go ahead with titanium white that is opaque in color. It has a lot of opacity, and start adding as I do towards my shoreline. Once this is done, then you can even blend it a bit with the help of your blending brush. You would observe me doing it in few of the areas. Add some more white as we progress. This is a great way actually to show the ocean foam. To be frank, I have used it in many of my other paintings and it has turned out really pretty. So go ahead and try it. You would find it absolutely amazing. I would keep adding some more white and use my fingers to blend it. Yeah, I think that's the best way to blend. I have been doing it in many of my other paintings now, and you must have observed it. In and around the rocks, try to make more of white because that is the ocean form. So, what happens is your water will come gushing and rushing towards these rocks that you already have done, and then they will break there. So when they break, that white and the ocean foam forms. That's what we want to show through these paintings, and that is what is most important. Once it is done, let's have a closer look at how we are going to add more of the ocean foam into the sea area. So start adding some amount of your ocean foam even into your sea area, and slowly keep adding some of them more and more as you progress. You would see that this is going to be very interesting because what happens is that we are so much taken away by the fact that we are painting sea and ocean. It really changes, or it really helps me to meditate so well. I am so happy from my heart, to be frank. Yeah, all that happiness I get from these paintings, and I hope that you can also see that how beautifully this complete painting is coming up now. I am so happy, and I am so excited to even share this process, guys. I always say that if you share the knowledge, that's the best thing that you can do. When I share my knowledge with you guys, that's one of the most exciting, and that's one of the most contented and happiness kind of an part that happens to me. One of my happy parts of it is, yeah, sharing the process. Okay, let's now add some more darker values of brown here and there, small dots, and I'm using my Escoda Optimo size 6 brush. It is a very beautiful brush. I've been using it in many of my other paintings. It has got a very nice tip, and that's how we go about it. Go ahead and keep painting towards the right side and add some more dry brush technique over here. I hardly have any color on this brush. I dab off all the extra paints and then add these dry brush technique. Once this is done, then remove the tape at an angle and then have a final look at your painting. I think you would be also very satisfied to have been in a position to finish off this kind of a painting, and that's it.